How old are you?
18.
Good job, you're going to jail.
Can you please grab my phone and my license for me?
You're now going to jail. Do you understand?
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. A little different video here today. This is a traffic stop in Whitley, Indiana. 18-year-old Vivian Augustus, headlight out and doing about 7 miles over the speed limit. And she gets violently taken to the ground. You're going to see all that. And then we'll break in and we'll start breaking this down and discuss it. I just want to roll right into it here and get with it. Thanks for being here. Hit that like and subscribe and all that good stuff. He's now getting ready to explain to the backup officer that just showed up, who, by the way, is a school resource officer.
Pull over for headlight and speed.
Okay.
Cracks her window. Ask her to roll it down the rest of the way. Cracks it another ½ inch. Ask her to exit. She refuses to exit until I tell her why. Tell her about 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle. You don't want to go down this route. Refuse to exit. So, pulled her ass out, put her in arm bar, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
How old is she?
She says she's 18.
Okay.
So she's going to go to jail. Of course, my body cam didn't turn on when I told it to. Give me your other hand. Didn't have to be like this. All right, get up. Roll over on your butt.
I have a knee injury. Please help me up.
Which knee's hurt?
No, I have a knee injury.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3, up. How old are you?
18.
Good job, you're going to jail.
Well, can you
Refusing to identify.
Can you please grab my things for me?
You're what?
Can you please grab my phone and my license for me?
Yep. Take a seat.
And my keys?
Take a seat. All right, Vivian. Are you injured in any way? Would you like the medics to check you out? Okay. I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay? I have to read these to you since you're in custody, all right? This is your Miranda warning. Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and have them with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand your right?
Yeah, this is just another indicator that this cop's a bully. He doesn't have to read her Miranda rights. We've seen suspects sit in the back of a car for actual crimes, 15, 20, 30 minutes or more. You only have to read Miranda rights when you're going to ask questions. And to validate what I'm saying is what he says as soon as we come back. He's just bullying her around a little bit, trying to scare her. What a jerk.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you any questions right now. What I am going to tell you is you were pulled over for your speed and your headlight, okay? Your speed was 37 and 30, not that big of a deal, and your headlight was out on your driver's side. Just pulling you over to let you know. If you would have just given me your license and your registration like I asked you to do, you would have gone away with a warning tonight, okay? But however, since you decided to pull this right here, where you don't want to comply, you don't want to give me your ID, and you think you're going to run the scene, you're now going to jail. Do you understand?
I was trying to give you my ID.
You were not. How many times did I ask you?
I was pulling out my ID.
You were not. I've got a body cam on. It'll show you not pulling your ID out. When I ask you to step out of the vehicle, you step out of the vehicle. You don't get to sit there and tell me how I'm going to do my job. Do you understand?
I was attached to my
Good thing you read those Miranda rights. Did you hear a question in there? I never heard a question. All I heard was a lecture and him losing his mind. So the Miranda rights, again, like I said, it was just a bully tactic. There was not one question in there. Anyway, I'm pissed off. I'm sorry. All right. So with the cuts and everything, I timed it as best I could. And I'm going to give the cop the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to round up. It was 18 seconds. Let's say 20 seconds from the time he went to the car and had her roll her window down, the time he opened up the car door. It was a total of 1 minute and 14 seconds. 1 minute, 14 seconds. The time that he got to the car door and he was reaching in and pulling her out. As soon as he reached in is when I cut the timing off. 1 minute, 14 seconds. Really? Really? 37 and a 30? And a headlight. During the day. A headlight during the day. Now, it is raining, but a headlight during the day. It's not like it's pouring. This guy's just a bully. And there's more, and we'll talk about it when we get to it.
What you got?
Pull over for headlight and speed.
Okay.
Cracks her window. Ask her to roll it down the rest of the way. Cracks it another half inch. Ask her to exit. She refuses to exit until I tell her why. Tell her about 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle. You don't want to go down this route. Refuse to exit. So, pulled her ass out, put her in an arm bar, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
How old is she?
She says she's 18.
Okay.
So she's going to go to jail. Of course, my body cam didn't turn on when I told it to. You're going to have to back out, man. There's no room over there.
Plug up the whole damn parking.
Okay, well, the problem here, sir, is that she pulled in here. I didn't pull her in here, so get off my scene. Get off my scene.
Officer Bryan Schimmel, you are out of control. You are not a good police officer. You might be a good police officer, but you're not a good law enforcement officer. Man. Yeah. And you're going to see this gets the attention of a lot of people, and rightfully so. And he even says, I had slam her to the ground. Are you an arm bar? Had put her in an arm bar and slam her to the ground. 80-pound, maybe 100-pound, 18-year-old girl. Scared to death. What a POS. You know what? Yeah, we'll just save it. I'm trying to temper myself here. All right, let's get back to it. I'm sorry I'm cutting in so much, but there's just an awful lot to say here. Back to it.
Dispatch. She lives right over here. Good family.
You know about him?
Signal lady.
What?
Valid return signal lady. Yep.
Dispatch 655. She's going to be in custody. Failure to identify and resisting. You sort of hook my way. Next off rotation.
You know what you're getting into. Their son is at the school, and we do it all the time. And they're, yeah. So was your dash cam going?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all we need.
Yeah, dash cam was going. But body cam didn't go on until she was already on the ground. We've also got the gas station footage too.
Yeah. Just make sure you're articulate, because I can tell you right now the way this family is. I can tell you right now the way the family is. Make sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
she didn't identify,
No.
and then
no,
she
no.
resisted.
No, I'm just talking.
I mean, it's cut and dry.
She's from here, so make sure you have everything in there. And just give.
In case you didn't hear that, the school resource officer is familiar with the family, and he just indicated to him that they are a good family, a well-known family, and he needs to articulate. And of course, the officer kind of barked back a little bit. Well, she didn't identify. I think the school resource officer already sees the writing on the wall. It's not going to go good for him. And the resource officer, I think he's letting him know, you're not getting any support from me, pal. So, yeah, not good. This is just an arrogant cop. Arrogant cop.
How's it going?
My car.
Yeah. Your daughter?
Yep. So I'll tell you, because I'm the one that pulled over. So I pulled her over for speed, 37 and a 30, and then the headlight. Okay, her driver's side headlight's out.
Oh, okay.
Pull her over. She pulls in here, cracks the window. Oh, they're talking to me.
I got him.
Okay. Cracks the window. Ask her to roll the window down a little bit more. All the commotion and the rain, I can't hear her.
Yeah.
Refuses to do that. Ask her to step out of the vehicle. She refuses to step out. Ask her probably 4, 5, 6 times to exit the vehicle nicely. Ask her please. Refuse to do it. Want to give me her ID. Want to give me her registration. So she was assisted out of the vehicle, placed into custody, resisting arrest and failure to identify.
Okay.
Okay.
That's, I mean, honestly, I know she's 18. That's probably my bad because I've instructed her that we roll the window down like that much.
Absolutely. You don't have to roll it down all the way as long as you can get the ID out.
Yeah,
the problem is when I can't hear because of traffic and the rain and everything. We're in a gas station.
I know. I'm saying
you ask her to exit the vehicle and she refuses to do so. You know what I mean? Then we go down this route.
Yep.
So, I just wanted to let you know. Are you dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad's a retired state trooper.
Okay.
So.
Do you have somebody? Well, I already called a hook. I wish you would have got here a few minutes earlier. I would have just gave you the car, but.
Yeah, there's just a lot to say here. Okay, so he says he asked her 4, 5, 6 times. I don't think so. Again, I timed it out from the time he got to the door to the time he reached in and grabbed her is 1 minute and 14 seconds, and actually from the time he told her to crack the window and then open the door was only 18 seconds. So we'll say 20 seconds. Number one. Number two, he said, so I can hear her. He doesn't have to hear her. You do not have to vocalize anything. You can remain silent. There's nothing you really have to speak about. She's going to give him all the information he needs, and if they choose to have a conversation about it thereafter, then that's fine. Otherwise, she can sit there and not say a word. So that's hogwash. Technically, that's hogwash. Now, most of us don't do that. We interact with in a car stop, and they go through their little questions, ask where you've been, what you've been doing, all that kind of stuff, which is just fishing. But I've been pulled over before and had good conversation with the officer that pulled me over. So, but you don't have to. So that's hogwash. And I think Dad knows it. Dad just indicated his father is a retired state trooper, so he probably has a little more knowledge than the average Joe. So, all right. Sorry, I'm cutting in. There's just a lot to say here. Oh, mercy.
There's already a wrecker on the way, so.
Oh, I can't just take my car?
Let me see if they called him.
I got it.
He'll do
I
it.
was going to say wrecker or not.
Well, they've already been called, but if they're not in the truck yet, I'll give it to you. I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
I just have to do a search incident to arrest, make sure there's nothing in there she shouldn't have, and then I'll give it to you.
Okay. Yeah,
You got your ID, so I can.
Yeah. So what happens next with her?
So she's going to go to jail for resisting and failure to identify. She's going to get a ticket for the headlight and the speed. She'll go down to Whitley County Jail. She'll be assigned a bond, and then you can bond her out.
Okay.
Or whoever. Doesn't matter who, but she'll get a bond.
Yeah. Can I talk to her for a sec? Just to keep her chill?
Just disregard him. Yeah, you give me a minute, okay?
Sure.
Dispatch 65.5. I've got a 27. It's going to be her father out of Indiana. Last name Augustus, Adam Union, George Union, Sam, Tom Union, Sam. First name Brent, Common. Middle. There you are. Let me get the car search real quick. As long as we're good, well, we'll get you to talk to her first. I'm sure
Yeah.
you're worried, so.
I'm not worried.
Well, I want you to. You're a dad, right?
Yeah.
I'm a dad. I'd be worried, so. She hasn't been patted down yet, no. But we'll get you to talk to her and then
Yeah, that's cool.
get that search, and then we'll just give it to you. You ready?
Search the car, incident to arrest. No. She's in the back of the car. I mean, he could search within reach of the occupant maybe or something, but he can't. And I may be wrong here. Maybe it's different in Indiana, but I don't believe he's got a right to search that vehicle. Not at all. Not without something to support a crime that been committed. We're talking about a speeding in a headlight. Yeah, this guy, I think, something's not right. And I think Dad's starting to realize, this isn't good. And he just asked for Dad's ID and ran him. What was the purpose of calling in a 27 on Dad and doing a check on his DL? I'm not sure that's right either. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. Most states aren't that far off, you know. Anyway, yeah, this guy's just a horse's A, and yeah, and hopefully he'll get more coming to him than comes to him, if you know what I mean. So hang in there. Justice does prevail, and in the end, it's just there could be more justice, in my opinion. And I'll vocalize it.
Yeah, let me search the rest of it. Okay, just watch it. Yeah, just watch it. Just, oh, you know, search the rest of it. Doesn't count on this spot. Good? Watch your elbow.
Alright.
Okay. You explain everything to her?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so you're good on the vehicle. You want to take it? There's no point
Yeah, I'll
in
just
towing
follow
it if
you
you're
with
here,
it or-
so. Oh, you're going to follow us down to the jail? Okay.
Okay, so Dad gets a hold of the video footage, and he puts it on Facebook. And the department just gets inundated with irate replies and comments. And here was their press release. For immediate release, town responds to social media postings. South Whitley, Indiana, April 13th, 2024. In response to a social media post of an edited video of local law enforcement encounter, the South Whitley Police Department notes that it is limited in its ability to offer additional information. Edited? There's nothing edited at all. This is CYA as usual. The social media post and comments suggest a uniformed local officer acted unreasonably in his interaction with a driver pulled over for speeding on January 24th, 2024. The incident resulted in a criminal charge and judicial finding of probable cause that the driver committed a crime. Big crime. Persons charged with crimes are presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. It is a crime to refuse to identify yourself if stopped for a traffic infraction. We know that. Further, a law enforcement officer is authorized to arrest an individual who commits a crime in the officer's presence. The reasonableness of this officer's conduct during the arrest is being reviewed. To ensure the fairness of the process to all parties, the town's attorney has advised that it is inappropriate to comment on the underlying facts of this incident while they are being reviewed. Yeah, hoop-de-doo. Yeah, that's just your standard release. But guess what? The news media is all over this, and the heat came down on this department like you wouldn't believe. And we're going to watch that. All right, let's get back to it.
Out, about 5 minutes out, maybe 4.
Police say a review is underway into how the officer in this video that you're looking at right now handled a traffic stop in South Whitley. The officer says he pulled over the 18-year-old driver because she had a headlight out and she was speeding, and she wound up in handcuffs on the pavement. The family released that video on YouTube, which has led to a barrage of comments and concern. And today, the town council held an executive session to look into what happened. The teen's mother and father sat down with 21 Investigates reporter Taylor Williams.
The family says they were angry when they first saw the video. They hope by putting it out there, it will start a conversation about training for officers.
A rainy day, January 24th in South Whitley. You can see Officer Bryan Schimmel pulling 18-year-old Vivian Augustus over. He says she had a headlight out and was speeding.
About 5 minutes out, maybe 4.
In this police report obtained by 21 Investigates, Officer Schimmel says Augustus wouldn't roll her window all the way down. He says he wanted her to get out of the car so they could hear each other. He says she refused and wouldn't give him her driver's license or identify herself. So he, quote, assisted her out of the vehicle. This is how he explained it to her dad, who showed up on the scene.
Want to give me her ID, want to give me her registration, so she was assisted out of the vehicle.
Brant and Macy Augustus used different words to describe what happened.
We were not prepared for how quickly things escalated. And it's just confusion of what facilitated this.
This is how Officer Schimmel explained what went down to a second officer.
Pull over for headlight speed.
Okay.
Cracks her window. Ask her to roll it down the rest of the way. Cracks it another half inch. Ask her to exit. She refuses to exit until I tell her why. Tell her about 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle. You don't want to go down this route. Refuse to exit. So, pulled her ass out, put her in an arm bar, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
The teen was charged with refusal to identify herself while stopped for an infraction, resisting law enforcement, and speeding. The prosecutor's office dropped the resisting charge, but when the family learned the court set a trial date for October, they decided to release the video.
We've had, months of people speculating about it and talking to our kids at school about it and, friends and all kinds of things. So we're like, we'll just put up the video. People can draw their own conclusions.
Police posted this statement on Facebook. It says, quote, "It is a crime to refuse to identify yourself if stopped for a traffic infraction. Further, a law enforcement officer is authorized to arrest any individual who commits a crime in the officer's presence." It goes on to say the reasonableness of this officer's conduct during the arrest is being reviewed.
More than anything, if it shines a light that says police need more training to be able to de-escalate situations, especially when they're dealing with young people, and you could save somebody else from having a negative interaction, that would be a win.
I did some digging and discovered Officer Schimmel worked for the Monrovia Police Department last year. The Monrovia Police Chief says Schimmel served a 10-day suspension and had to complete de-escalation training after an incident at a racetrack. In studio, Taylor Williams, 21 Alive News.
Yeah, very status quo from the city attorney and everything, but when the parents saw the response and the fact that there was going to be a trial set, they were like, okay, we're just going to turn the video loose in social media, in the medium. We're going to let the people decide. And did the people decide? Yes. Yeah, there was, Yeah, there was call to action. I think that was the website they went to, call to action. So, and that's exactly what they got. So this next news clip is the follow-up clip to that, and then we'll be completing the video. I appreciate y'all being here and watching this, and I'm sorry I broke in so many times. Just an awful lot to point out and say. Hit the like, subscribe, support the channel if you like what I do. Make a comment. I'm pretty sure I know how the comments are going to look. I've got a pretty good feeling. All right, love y'all. Appreciate everybody for being here. Watch this follow-up news report. It's they also have an interview with the daughter. This officer's name is Bryan Schimmel. So if you live in a small town in Indiana, pay attention who your department's hiring, because this guy has no business being a cop. And if you want to know the truth, he ought to be prosecuted. He should be prosecuted, and he should do some jail time for what he did to this 18-year-old girl. I'm dead ass serious about that. So comment on that. All right. I'm proud of Ray. I appreciate you being here. Watch this follow-up news report. Till next time, I be gone.
Pulled her ass out, put her in our bar, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
How old is she?
An officer slams an 18-year-old student to the ground during a traffic stop. The video of her arrest has led to public outcry. And new tonight, a town councilman confirms the officer, Bryan Schimmel, is no longer with the police department because of safety concerns. This is a follow-up to a story our 21 Investigates team broke earlier this week.
Yeah, the Whitley County prosecutor has dismissed the case against the teen, saying, quote, legitimate community concerns about the arrest and officer conduct before, during, and after the traffic stop diminish the state's ability to successfully prosecute the case.
21 Investigates reporter Taylor Williams joins us now with those new developments. Taylor.
The officer pulled the teen over for speeding. He says she wouldn't give him her ID and refused to get out of the car. The rest was caught on tape.
When I ask you to step out of the vehicle, you step out of the vehicle. You don't get to sit there and tell me how I'm going to do my job. You understand?
That was South Whitley officer Bryan Schimmel on January 24th of this year. He says he pulled over 18-year-old Vivian Augustus for speeding and a broken headlight. Gas station surveillance shows what he did after he says she refused to get out of the car. And when Vivian's father saw it, he was irate.
But there are still conversations that need to be had. There are still bridges that need to be mended here, and changes that need to be put in place to prevent this from happening again to anyone.
Bryan Augustus learned Friday morning that the prosecutor dismissed charges against his daughter, and Officer Schimmel was no longer on the force.
But we did not expect this at all. Certainly not this quickly.
He thinks it's the result of community pressure, a website, signs, and calls to action. Then a civil rights attorney picked up the story and put it on YouTube.
They don't like to face the public. You know, if before the public has seen the footage, in a lot of these cases, you know, they will defend these officers, and that's what they did here.
It's absolutely clear to me that it has been because of the community support and people rallying behind seeing something wrong and being vocal about saying something about it.
And for the first time, we're hearing from Vivian. I spoke with her earlier today, and this is what she had to say.
As time has gone, I've learned to be a lot more positive about it and try and think to myself that if this had to happen in order for there to be some change in our community, then I'm happy to do it. And it is what it is. And I've felt very relieved knowing that all of my charges have been dropped.
A town councilman tells us that the town took down all of his social media pages because of threats. He wants to make it clear that a new page claiming to represent the police is fake. We have more on this story right now at 21alivenews.com. In studio, Taylor Williams, 21 Alive News.